5 years ago was really a long time ago if you look at it in terms of ALS, because when you're given the diagnosis, obviously, they tell you, get your affairs in order, check everything off your bucket list, and try to live your life to the fullest, because ALS is a terminal disease. So we're 5 years into the disease right now. And, whenever I tell people that, they're like, oh my God, 5 years, that's incredible. And so it truly is amazing that my husband is still really high functioning today. But 5 years ago, if you would have asked me that, I would have never been able to say those words, that he is still 5 years in, doing well, and living a very full life, pretty much as full as it was before we got the diagnosis. Because, as you know, once you're given a diagnosis like that, it's a diagnosis of finality, and you feel like, okay, our lives are coming to an end now, and what do we need to do to live a very full life in just the 3 years that you're given to live? So we feel very fortunate on many different levels, but a lot goes back to just our, relationship that we've had, our supportive family, and also us doing advocacy work, which really, fills our days. And but it also gives us a lot of hope, knowing that there's a community out there that is working towards finding cures. Brian does what everybody else does, and that's all the, standard, really is all enosine basis, all of the over-the-counter type of therapies, and that he's been on TUDCA, but he's also on Radicava, which seems to be standard of care now for most ALS patients. And we do infusions at home. And then he is also on an EAP through the Healy Center. So he has been taking an EAP, it's called RT001. So we don't really know, neurologists don't really know. And unfortunately, the ALS is such a complex disease that the clinicians and researchers really don't have any idea why Brian is such a slow progressor. But there are people out there, there's probably 5% of people who can live, 10 years or more with this disease. And we're obviously hoping Brian falls into that bucket.